Many people who report a close encounter claim they see UFOs with advanced technology studying the Earth. But is there a biological entity behind the controls? Or are some UFOs sentient machines? Some scientists believe the survival of mankind on a dying Earth hinges upon the revolutionary science of artificial intelligence. Join us as we investigate that biological life may just be an evolutionary stepping stone in a world dominated by artificial alien intelligence. A global effort has begun. Secret files hidden from the public for decades, detailing every UFO account, are now available to the public. We are about to uncover the truth behind these classified documents. Find out what the government doesn't want you to know. Unsealed. Alien Files. Exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth. Evidence suggests that if aliens exist, they are more technologically advanced than humans. But is technology an evolutionary trait? Many scientists believe the survival of our species depends on our ability to innovate. And there is one technological advance that promises to change our place in the universe forever.
Artificial intelligence is a technology that allows a computer to think. We know that machines are programmed. They can do programmed to do whatever task we want them to do, but that's all they know. In the field of AI, now you're teaching them how to think for themselves, how to make decisions, how to understand what they're doing, and then learn from it.
It's the great science fiction dream, or perhaps nightmare. Could a machine one day become self-aware? What would machine intelligence be like?
Unsealed case file. The Voronezh incident. September 23rd, 1989. Voronezh, Soviet Union.
The story of the Voronezh encounter was a few children were out playing and saw a spaceship-type craft out in the distance.
300 miles southeast of Moscow, a group of children playing in a park witness a boomerang-shaped UFO in the sky.
As these children then began to watch and see what was going to happen, a 9-foot-tall, what they described as an alien, exited the craft.
Gripped with fear, one of the boys starts screaming.
In the Voronezh incident, the robot that was seen might have come straight out of the pages of a sci-fi novel. It is almost the archetypal robot. This is exactly how science fiction writers envisaged a robot, and perhaps indeed how scientists might design one.
To silence the boy, the alien fires a laser-like weapon.
This weapon was used against the children, where it actually fired on one of them, and the child disappeared for a couple of minutes.
It's a tense moment for all involved. The machine seems to show no emotion.
One reason why AI might be such a threat is that machine intelligence would be unclouded by love and compassion. This would simply be cold logic. And if human beings were assessed as inferior, emotion would play no part. We might be deemed a threat and deemed something to be wiped out.
The missing child reappears apparently unharmed. Then, the UFO and its occupants quickly fly into the sky.
Robots are often reported during UFO encounters involving entities, and there is certainly great logic in the idea that extraterrestrial explorers would have robot helpers. If you can do interstellar travel, you can probably design robots, and that will enable you to do a lot of the difficult and dangerous tasks.
But if any or all of the Voronezh aliens were some form of robot, what were they sent to do?
Now, is that robot helper a guardian designed to protect the biological life form? Is it simply a tool to recover samples? We don't know. But certainly, if humans go into space, they will doubtless, if the technology is there, take robots with them to do the legwork and to do the dangerous and difficult tasks that we can't do.
When you look at what the human race is doing with its technology, it really isn't that far-fetched that an extraterrestrial civilization, given the fact that their intelligence grows to create AI and beyond, that they are essentially going to merge with machines as well.
But the promise of artificial intelligence has many scientists concerned.
Artificial intelligence harnessing that computational power is going to be a very lethal combination, so it has to be controlled in some way. So I think that that fact, coupled with aliens are out there and they're intelligent, they're probably going to go down the same path. I think artificial intelligence is absolutely going to collide in the future.
Coming up, encounters with a micro UFO in Japan have experts rethinking extraterrestrial exploration. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. Witnesses of some close encounters have reported seeing robots alongside UFOs. But if aliens are doing reconnaissance of Earth, it makes sense that robots could accomplish the first wave of research and more.
When you look at human space exploration, we are sending probes everywhere. They're unmanned, they're small, and they essentially just watch. Now, the theory of an alien civilization exploring the cosmos, my guess is they're going to do the same thing.
Unsealed case file, the Kara UFO. August 25th, 1972, Kochi Prefecture, Japan.
The Kara incident from 1972 in Japan ranks, I think, as one of the most truly extraordinary UFO encounters of all time. It involved what really looks like some sort of mini probe device, a small, apparently metallic craft that was seen by a boy hovering over a rice paddy.
A witness saw a UFO out in the rice fields, and he described it as more of a mini ship, that this was something that literally you can essentially hold on your lap.
The boy watches the mini UFO flying in and out of the rice fields.
And he thought, okay, this is something very strange. And so he goes and he gets a friend of his to come back to the field, and sure enough, they both saw this mysterious craft. Eventually, it had left the area. They had no pictures, no nothing to take back with them. So they thought, well, let's take a camera out, and if this thing shows back up, then we can essentially capture a photo of it.
They try again the next day, and to their amazement, it shows up.
They snapped a very fuzzy and grainy photograph of whatever this object was, but where this story takes a very weird turn, after the flash went off from the camera, it was like something happened to the UFO.
The UFO is disabled long enough for the boys to approach the craft.
The boys recovered this small object and took it home. I mean, this was truly extraordinary. This small device, whatever it was small enough for them to pick it up and carry it.
He then wraps it up and puts it in his satchel and takes it home.
Intrigued by the device, the boys try to understand how it works.
They tried to get a closer look at the insides of this thing, and there seemed to be electronics in there.
They gave some description of it to the media thereafter, but of course, the object mysteriously disappeared in the next couple of days.
But what could the Kara UFO be?
If this story is taken at face value, this thing may well have been some sort of alien probe sent to explore planet Earth and perhaps sent to take and recover samples from the surface of our planet.
Experts suggest one way to explore the galaxy would be to employ a self-replicating probe. If the Kara UFO was extraterrestrial, one theory is that it may have built itself.
The idea of a self-replicating machine is that a single probe, probably an AI probe, makes a copy of itself, an exact copy from resources that it finds as it travels around in the cosmos.
Because that one machine can only cover so much ground. It's a physical object, it can only travel so fast, and the universe is pretty vast.
Could some UFO sightings actually be AI probes scouring the planet for information?
One of the most common types of UFOs seen for decades has been the small spherical point of light. Are we dealing here with AI probes? Are we dealing with the idea of self-replicating machines designed by an extraterrestrial civilization and something which have spread out throughout the entire galaxy?
Coming up, scientists allegedly discover a massive probe orbiting the sun. And it's not one of ours. Welcome back to Unsealed Alien Files. Ufologists believe some unidentified flying objects could be unmanned probes sent from another world. But with so many astronomical objects entering and leaving our solar system all the time, how can we recognize one that might be a UFO? Unsealed case file, Asteroid 1991 VG, November 6th, 1991. The Sun. An American astronomer discovers a unique object orbiting the Sun, following a similar path as the Earth.
Now, the characteristics of this were bizarre. It seemed to be highly reflective, and at first, he thought this was perhaps a discarded space rocket. Certainly, it seemed to be artificial, but no space rocket or satellite fit the bill here. So, again, if this thing wasn't an asteroid, and it wasn't a space rocket constructed by humans, what was it?
Its extremely shiny surface exhibits a rapid variation in brightness, and its orbital path does not match any known man-made object, leading many experts to consider it of unknown origin. But one astronomer thinks he has the answer.
Duncan Steele claims that this is possibly some type of alien probe that exhibits qualities of being artificial rather than natural.
Duncan Steele is a research astronomer who has taken the more conventional search for extrasolar planets to a rather logical and interesting extreme.
Just as astronomers look for a drop in luminosity when new planets cross in front of a star, rogue asteroids and probes could also be detected using the same technique.
Well, would the same thing not happen if a spaceship or a space station or a space probe did the same thing? So his theory is that we can hunt not just for extrasolar planets, but for AI space probes and space stations.
With over 1 million objects orbiting the Earth, scientists are on a 24-hour watch.
1991 VG is an object that really sticks out as not being an asteroid-like object or a rock, essentially in orbit around Earth.
Could it be an alien space probe of some sort? One of the most extraordinary things about this object was its strange, irregular orbit. And indeed, it's an orbit that's going to take it tantalizingly close to planet Earth in 2017.
What will scientists discover when 1991 VG passes close to Earth again in 2017?
This is something that actually exhibits qualities of possibly something else.
Some experts theorize it's a Bracewell probe, a type of probe that theoretically could be sent by an extraterrestrial civilization to monitor and communicate information about Earth.
If there are alien probes in vicinity of planet Earth, the implications are huge. We know that NASA and ESA are capable of designing space probes that are now capable of going to comets on close approach, and indeed bringing back samples.
If there are alien probes out there, our technology is becoming good enough to go out and bring the entire probe back.
And this would answer, for once and for all, the question of whether or not we're alone. Because if we're being visited by probes, they are reachable now.
So I think artificial intelligence is going to be key to understanding these advanced life forms.
Most scientists believe that alien life will be more mechanical than biological in nature.
We're not going to essentially find them living in big cities on an Earth-like planet light years away. That we'll probably find alien life much closer to the resources of our universe. That essentially these artificial intelligence machines are going to be going out and mining the universe for the resources.
Advanced machines can be designed to have a much longer life than an astronaut.
When you send that out into the stars, well, who cares if it has to wait 5,000 years to get to its nearest neighbor? It doesn't age. It doesn't die. It doesn't decay. So that mechanical being that we are in the process of creating is probably going to be our first astronaut into deep space. The concept of us finding an alien probe out there isn't too far-fetched, because that's exactly what the human race is doing. So it would be not unlikely for the aliens to be doing the same exact thing.
Coming up, we investigate the implications of artificial intelligence for the future of mankind. Welcome back to Unsealed, Alien Files. Some ufologists believe many UFOs could be autonomous machines.
I think it's arguable that most UFOs out there could potentially be unmanned, where there's no biological entity or intelligently controlled person or alien behind the controls, that they could essentially be artificial intelligent probes, very much like we are sending out there.
Scientists believe a widespread integration of artificial intelligence is the only way mankind will navigate the future.
It's believed that when we do make contact with an alien civilization, it will be with a mechanical machine or an artificial intelligence.
The universe might be more full of AI than biological life. And the reasons for this are really evolutionary.
Life is much too fragile to sustain long periods of independent existence.
The thinking is that any biological civilization might want to address those issues and improve themselves and modify themselves.
We have to merge with our digital selves. We have to create digital offspring, if you were, artificial intelligence that essentially is us, but is also essentially immortal. That it will not age or decay or die on a space trip that lasts thousands of years. That essentially that digital footprint of us, that digital copy of who we are, could be sent out into the cosmos, and it really makes no difference how far they travel, because once they get there, they'll be alive to say hello.
Experts believe artificial intelligence is now inevitable.
When you look at the human race, we are merging with our machines. We're merging with our technology. Yes, it's starting with mechanical extensions like arms or legs, just limbs to our human bodies. That makes more sense to live forever than it does for, let's say, 75 or 85 years.
But there is another, more disturbing reason.
If machine intelligence is more evolved, then we may be shifting increasingly to a post-biological universe.
You are going to have some very intelligent brains out there that are going to create this artificial intelligence that's just going to go off the maps in regards to their own way of thinking and that digital intelligence.
AI might itself then design better and better versions of itself, more powerful, immortal. And we may therefore be in a situation where the universe is ruled by a single, almost omnipotent machine.
This is Unsealed, Alien Files, exposing the biggest secret on planet Earth.